Hooping. I always use an embroidery hoop when I'm stitching, and I do recommend that. If you've tried hoops before and not enjoyed it, then I do encourage you to try again. Now, most people think that you use a hoop just for the tension, and that's why we say you must need a hoop. And I know there are many beautiful stitches out there that have beautiful tension and beautiful stitches that don't use a hoop. So I'm not saying you have to, this is just my preference. What I mainly use it for is an extra hand. If you don't have a hoop, you have to use your fingers to hold that out so that you've got vision and it's sort of taut and standing up while you do your stitches. And that is putting pressure on all of my fingers, on my wrist, my carpal tunnel, my elbow, all the way up to my neck. And that tension, when I stitch a lot, is going to lessen my stitching years. So I'm all about stitching health, and I want to be able to stitch until the rest of me packs it in. So to prevent any sort of RSI or carpal tunnel or shoulder and neck issues, then by having it in the hoop, I can simply just rest it on my hands there, quite relaxed, and all that tension from all the way up here is no longer there. So for me, I use the hoop as an extra hand. It also does give me much better vision of where I'm stitching and where I'm going, and it also, I think, for me personally, improves my tension because I can see exactly how tight the threads need to be without distorting the fabric, but without being loose and wobbly on the top of the fabric. So the hoops I use and recommend are just these very inexpensive plastic hoops. I use a 6-inch hoop because the way I stitch, I use my fingers on the back, and I've got short stubby fingers, so I need to be able to reach. If you've got longer fingers, you may be able to work with an 8-inch hoop, but a 6-inch is fine, and it's nice and small and portable to be carrying around for the year for this project, and it also fits into our Yazzie bag if you got that. So these hoops have an inner and an outer ring, and the inner hoop here has a little ridge on the top there. And it also, on this one, it says top. Some of them say this side up. This one says top, okay? So that makes it pretty obvious, but I do see an awful lot of people putting these hoops on their fabric upside down just because they've never been explained how it's meant to work. So sit the inner ring on a table with the top side to the top or the lip to the top. And then place your prepared panel, and I'm just using a smaller bit here, on top. Okay, and then I simply take the outer ring that's been loosened off quite a bit and pop it over the top, okay, until it pops over. But you keep going until that little ridge pops through. See how that's popped through to the top there? You can just see. Then tighten. As you're tightening, if you've got any wrinkles, you can just pull that a little firmer. Now, it doesn't have to be drum tight, okay? You just want it firm, but it doesn't have to be really stretched. Just taut, but not stretched. And it doesn't have to be drum tight. I can still push that around there. As I said, it's more your hand, okay? It's your extra hand. It's holding the fabric out for you. And my hand holding it like that is just totally relaxed with no stress, no pressure all the way up here. And that's how we prepare our fabric and place it in the hoop ready for stitching.